So hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. I'm going to drop off a quick late evening afternoon video. I got a little off schedule today, but it's for good reason. So I know you're going to understand. So I'm trying to get on a specific routine with myself and you guys on a daily or weekly basis with my videos. And today kind of threw me off, but you know what? We have to live. We have to take care of family. We have, everybody has things they are doing. So we're about to do the barn. We literally just got home and Miss Lou came over today. If you go back a couple of videos, you know I had talked about Miss Lou, and she came over today from Robbinsville and came over the Dragon. If you've never driven the Dragon, it's quite an adventure, let me tell you right now. So it's not a big deal for us per se if the weather's at least decent, because you don't want to get up over them hills with snow, rain, sleet, and whatever. You ain't coming back, baby. But she came over today and we had a day out together. First things first, we went to a blessing box and we put a lot of goodies in a blessing box. Some of you guys have sent items to me and I got them this week. And so I made sure that all of those items went straight to the blessing box, and Miss Lou got to help me with that. So that was a lot of fun. Then we spent some time together. We went and grabbed a bite to eat, whatever. And it was wonderful. And I want to tell you that I told her all about y'all, which she already knows, but she got really excited and wants to thank everybody for, that are praying for her. And it was a wonderful conversation because we got to speak more about the power of prayer. And so I want to personally thank you right now for being as awesome and friendly and loving and just good, honest people that honor the idea that we all need to take care of each other and that prayer works, because it does. So I want to give you an update really, really fast. Okay, so a lot of you are asking. I did put a community post up on late Wednesday night. It's Friday night. It's January the 6th, and it's starting to get dark. So I don't know, this will be up late this evening probably, but what they did is they have postponed her procedure. So she went in and another doctor has come on the scene, a second opinion, which is great. You want more minds coming together. And the surgery that she is going to have is actually going to be a little bit more extensive and a little bit more involved. They did not think that they could do that this past Wednesday, which was the original schedule. So what they evaluated her, they talked with her again, they formulated a plan, and she's going back in about 2 weeks, and she's having a bigger surgery. So she's in good spirits, as she will say, she's prayer works, and it is what it is. So keep her in her in your prayers, and I want to personally thank you because it is so wonderful. I just can't express to you being able to come to my phone or laptop or whatever, and I open it up and there are hundreds of just all beautiful, beautiful people. Could be in the thousands by now, just endless comments. And, this speaks to the value of community. It really, really does. And so we've got to see things through, stick things out, and stay together. Even if we don't like each other always, all the time, or this or that or the other. But ultimately, let's be honest, I don't want to see anything bad to happen to anybody, and I want things to work out for everybody. I want you to be successful. And I know that you want other people to be healthy, happy, successful. And that's really, really important because we've entered into such a dark time in a lot of ways that people aren't seeing what you just showed. And we talked all about this while I was driving. I'm driving and we're boop, 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 and Miss Lou and I said, I think it is so awesome that even through social media, you may not believe exactly like I do or have had the same experiences as I have, or vice versa, okay? But the fact that so many people have expressed supporting, we're all going through something. So I just want to take the time to personally thank you first and foremost for that, and she does too. So I'm speaking for her. She's on her way home right now. She's headed back to North Carolina, which is just a stone. If you really chucked a stone, it's just right up there. But you have to go through all these roads, and 411 to 72, and then 120, and then you're on 129 going up over the hill and over the mountain back to Grandma's house we go. But so I wanted to say thank you. So I want to answer a question today I'm getting a lot of questions, and I have plans to make some videos on some of your questions because they're endless. So I know that we're in a time and place where people want to be given advice on things that they're wanting to do if I or whoever thinks that it's a good idea. I always want to tell you, first and foremost, that it is very important that you do what works best for you. You have to know your schedule, your capabilities, your finances, okay? I always hurt everybody's feelings when I say, guys, this lifestyle is not for free, okay? And, you know, in recent years, we've seen a lot of things change. And in the last year, we have seen inflation like crazy. You know, when I did a video, and here's where I'm going to be talking about chickens, but, you know, 6-9 months ago, when I was talking about how expensive it was going to be for me to sell my eggs, you know, I got a little bit of pushback on that. And now that, you know, you're basically paying that price at Walmart, I don't get any pushback anymore. Because here's what I'm saying. The people on the front lines, whether it be the farmer or whoever, is going to see problems and changes long before you do. Now, when I say long may be a month, that could be 6 months, it could be a year. But that's why it's important to talk about things, because it gives you a heads up. So here's what I'm saying. The question is, this gal asked me if I thought it was important for you or for her to basically to go for it and get chickens. She has a couple of acres. First of all, know your regulations in your area. I always want to say that because I know of endless people that went and got something and then they found out they weren't allowed to have it, and then they had to rehome it or sell it or do whatever. So always know that depending upon where you live, you may want to do something, but there may be restrictions. I don't like them either. That's why I live out in the boonies with no restrictions. But you need to investigate that first as well. Do I think somebody should have chickens? If you love eggs and you enjoy animal husbandry and you value the self-reliance of having your own eggs and meat, yeah, of course I'm going to tell you. Now with that, I want to stress that it's very important that you understand the time that it takes to take care of your chickens. Now, granted, chickens are not that difficult, but there are things you have to do. They require, you want a nice, safe run and coop. You want them to be safe. So you have to go through the process of, okay, well, how much is this going to cost me? Well, it depends upon what you have. So do you need to buy a coop? Do you need to build a coop? All of these things going forward. It was worth it for our family. Okay, now granted, we're talking about 13 years ago. Things were different then, not as expensive as they are now. And I only started with 4 hens, okay? So if you have never had chickens, you do need to understand that you should start small. For a family, depending on the size, I think getting 4 to 6 hens, you would get pullets, little baby chicks maybe, I don't know. Could be already full-grown birds. But getting some hens, having a nice little chicken coop, a very safely constructed run, is absolutely worth it. You need to understand, though, that you will have to feed them at least one good time a day. They need good bedding, a nesting box. There are things that go with it. So I'm not going to go through all of that. My point is you have to evaluate, is it worth it for you? It is worth it for me. You have to ask yourself, where do you want to be spending your time and your money and your energy? Because it requires those things. Okay, it's just like people, and I don't mean this disrespectfully, but James was showing me a picture of this poor little puppy that got sent to a shelter because somebody gave somebody a dog, and then they ended up not wanting this, like a golden retriever or lab, I think it was a lab actually, it was gold, it was so cute. They didn't want it, so they just took it to the shelter. And so, you know, it has to be a scenario that you really have thought about. You've worked it out of who's going to take care of these animals, regardless of it's, you know, even if it's just a goldfish or a gerbil, somebody's going to have to take care of it, okay? The eggs are wonderful, beautiful. I have my new little pullets that are coming into egg-laying age. Actually, my breakfast this morning was glorious. But there's a lot of time and energy and money that goes into having my birds. But I know I can't replace the value of those eggs. It's just like anything else in your life. However, I do think being self-reliant, learning skills, and having your own food sources probably should be considered top priority in this day and age. But I can't make that decision for you. I can show you all the ins and outs of everything that I've done over the years. I have endless videos on chickens, chicken care, and all the things that I have with my chickens. You see my chickens in many of my videos, but that doesn't mean that applies to you. Doesn't mean you have an interest in that. Doesn't mean you find value in that. So in anything that you're doing in this lifestyle or anything that you're doing in life, if you are going to, jump off the high dive and say, I'm doing it, well, you need to make sure that you're committed, because these are living beings, okay? I know it's a chicken, but they deserve a healthy life and respect too, because here's the thing, they are providing for you. They are giving you life, whether it's through their eggs, which is nourishing your body, or whether it's through their own bodies, which then again is giving to you to nourish your family. So it really is a very spiritual, sacred thing when you have any of these animals, because, I don't have this loose, flippant attitude of, oh, well, like somebody asked me the other day, they're like, do I hear quail in your barn? I didn't think you were going to do quail anymore. I thought you were going to get rid of them. No, that's not what I said. What I said is I didn't think that I was going to be incubating any eggs going further. I thought that I was going to just hold off on the quail. However, the quail that I do have, I'm going to let them live out their life. I'm going to continue to feed them. I'm going to continue to buy them feed and take care of them. They're older birds. In fact, since I made that video a couple weeks ago, this has been actually a couple months ago, I've actually already lost 3 or 4 because they're older birds. My birds live forever. That's a good thing. But my point is, I'm letting them live out a healthy life here in the barn, feeding them, make sure they're taken care of. I'm not tossing them out and letting them just whatever happens. It's a commitment that I made to these birds. I'm not adding more birds, but I'm taking care of the ones that I have. And I get a lot of questions about that. A lot of people say, well, why do you keep those old hens around if you're not going to butcher them? Look, I sell my eggs, and if I have hens, I can guarantee you that are 5 to 7 years old. And some of these girls may not give me eggs anymore. I understand that. It is important for me, in my opinion, to give them back all that they gave to me. It's kind of like a little, it's like taking care of Mamaw. Mamaw made sure that you were taken care of, so you're turning around and making sure that she's being taken care of later. That's how I view it. You may not view it that way, but it is what it is. So if you don't view it that way, or you're not sure, then I'm going to tell you on anything, even if it's a gerbil or a goldfish, please hold off until you know absolutely that you are committed to do your best to take care of these animals. That is my advice. It's going to be my advice for any of these wonderful creatures that I have around me daily. So, should you get chickens? Who are you talking to here? Of course, I'm going to say get chickens. But at the same time, you have to do what works best for you, and you have to know what you are committed to. Are you going to be able to check them several times a day and make sure they're safe? And give them the very good basic care that they deserve, because they're God's creatures too. I can't answer that for you, but I do know that if I personally feel that if you're not there and ready to do it, and the family's ready and committed to help in with that if you need help, no, you don't need to get chickens. Are you going to be paying less at the store overall by the time you do all these things to have all these things for the chickens? Probably. Are your eggs going to be as good? No way. Could you find a local lady that sells eggs and then help her out? That might be a good way to go until you know. Farmer's market, you'll find somebody. And so, when people say, I can't believe you'd want to charge $7 or $8, $10 for your home, your farm fresh eggs. I'm like, well, okay. You can go to Walmart and pay almost the same price now, because if you're going to be tacky to me, because this is the price that I have to have in order to maintain my birds, you know what? I'd rather feed them back to my hens. I'd rather throw them on the ground in front of you than to allow you to belittle me. These are the commitments and the things that we have to understand and stick to, and the prices that we are paying now. Would you rather pay how much a dozen now for Walmart eggs? Or would you rather have the same type of input, or more actually, going into your own, but yet you cannot replace the flavor and the time and the love that is really, truly a wonderful thing between the farmer, the homesteader, your children, and these creatures, and all the things you're going to learn. But I can't answer that for you. That is your homework that you have to do for yourself. I hope I answered this question. If you're looking for more answers in terms of specifics, we can go there all day long. But you have to know where you are in the game first. Guys, we appreciate you being here. I hope you're doing well. It's going to be a beautiful weekend. Actually, we're supposed to get some more rain, but it's going to be beautiful in spirit, right? We appreciate you being here. Like I said, Miss Lou says, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll keep you posted about her. Prayers and positive light. We're going for it, right? All the way. A lot of videos coming your way. A lot of questions that you have. I am reviewing for more videos to get you on track with your homesteading questions and answers and all the things you're trying to do. I'm going to do the best that I can. What I do, or what you see here, is not necessarily what you need to do. But if it helps you make a decision on what works best for you, then that's the goal. I love you guys. We appreciate you being here. Like, subscribe, and share. More videos coming. You better believe it. And guys, we'll see you then. Have a great night.